AOC. I have told you guys that many times. She's not. She's a younger person. She likes having her own life. Running for president is a big burden. It's a very running for president takes a lot of responsibility. Being president takes even more. Here's what you can't do if you're running for president or want to be president. You can't get liquored up on a weekend night and then make Instagram videos. I'm not saying she did that. I'm just showing you AOC from over the weekend on Instagram. Play the this is sorry, there are two of them. Play 121, please.
If you think that I don't understand foreign policy because out of hours of discourse about international affairs, I pause to think about one of the most sensitive geopolitical issues that currently exist on Earth, I'm afraid the issue is not my understanding, but rather the problem is perhaps you've gotten adjusted to a president that never thinks before he speaks.
Okay, when that was first sent to me, I think yesterday, I thought, well, that's AI. That's not real. But it turns out apparently it is. Haima, if you were an advisor to the Congresswoman and she shot that and sent it to you and said, I'm thinking of posting it, what do you think? What would you have said to her?
Well, one, that was cringy. Two, anyone who I've ever worked with know that I sometimes can be a little overly cautious. So I would have immediately said no. But look, we've talked about AOC a lot over the last few weeks, and I think I was on with you guys maybe a month or so ago talking about her potential for 2028, and I did not list her in my top 10 or top 15. And this is one of the reasons. We've all worked in this business for a long time, and we know, and you can say what you want to say about Donald Trump being a novice, but Donald Trump came to the table as someone who had been on the international stage for 50 years. And so that's much different. When you're running for president and you take yourself to the Munich Security Conference and you do all of this press and all of this sort of background interviews about what you're going to say and what to expect, and then you go there and you flop and then you blame everyone else for it, that's just not presidential. And I don't have any problems with AOC. And, I think she has been a really great voice for the liberal wing of my party. But you don't get to blame the rest of the world for something that you just did not do well. She didn't perform well there. And I think she's got to learn from that. If she wants to be president or vice president or whatever one day, she's got to learn from that. She's got to make sure that, one, she goes prepared. That's just the fact. And then two, if things go awry, she's got to be able to say, look, I wasn't my best that day, but I'm learning, I'm listening, and say, look, I'm going to go, around the country and hear what people want to talk about, because maybe it's not international wars, maybe it's housing. Try to pivot a little bit. But she's doubling down on her mistake and she's blaming everybody else for it, and I think that's silly.
Couldn't agree more. You said it perfectly. Hogan, why would a politician make a video like that a week later? Why would they do that?
You know who Colin Cowherd is? The sports guy, been around for a while. Yeah. He has a rule that I like. He has several that I like. And one of them is you never post on social media if you've had a sip of alcohol or you're in your underwear. Period. I like both of those rules. Now, am I guilty? Maybe. But I'm not exactly sure, like you said, if she'd been drinking or not, whatever.
I didn't say she'd been drinking. I said some people post when they drink.
You said don't post after you've had drinks. I'm saying I don't know if she's been drinking. You don't either.
Yeah.
And I don't know that you're speculating that. I'm just saying it just highlights and accentuates, I think, her fatal flaw in so many ways. And we talked about all these candidates have flaws when they run for office. It just depends on which ones are fatal and which ones aren't. The trappings around running for president, the siren song is very difficult to ignore if you are being told how great you are all the time and you're all these wonderful things and look at all this money I can raise and all of that. I think if the economy doesn't rebound like everyone thinks it will, and it's already rebounded quite a bit, but if it doesn't rebound more, there's a chance for someone like an AOC who's carrying that Bernie Sanders mantle to say, I'm the one who is the socialist who can make all this happen. And she carves out a niche there where she becomes quite formidable because she can use those platitudes for a while. But I think Haim is right. And I've said this before too, there is no stage bigger and no lights burn hotter than that on a presidential. And you get scrutinized in a way you have never been scrutinized before. And the higher for office you run, the more scrutiny. And you can oops yourself off of a presidential stage in a real hurry.
Yes,
even if you're an accomplished governor.
Yes, sir.
So
All
for
right.
someone like a congressman like AOC who has
Yes.
done nothing, way
Yes, sir.
problematic.
You
I,
both
I will,
you
I will,
both
I
nailed
will
it.
add
Yes,
this
sir.
one thing
Go ahead.
that I guess for her, I would say lucky doing it now than doing it in 2027. So maybe
Yeah.
she will learn from it, but I think
Yeah.
you're
you go.
completely right, Hogan.
Raise your hand if you want in. We got one more topic, then to your questions. You know how all the social media platforms have political operatives they hire to interface with the campaigns and the public offices, right? They've got these things. A huge key to President Trump's victory in 2015 and 2016 was that his team interacted with those political operatives way more than the Clinton campaign did to learn how to take advantage of the platform. So here's my idea. If you run one of those platforms, you should have for any elected official or politician a breathalyzer attached to their phone, so they have to show that they're not drunk before they can post. Right, so you blow in the device. It's an attachment to the iPhone. Goes right in here. You blow in the device. If you're below the legal limit, it allows you to post. If you're above the legal limit, it locks you out. Thank you very
Probably already
much.
announced
I support that.
Drop the mic. They say that something that's easy is like a walk in the park. Well, easier than a walk in the park, hit the subscribe button, be part of the two-way community, never miss an episode, be part of our conversations. Thank you for your service to America. And don't forget, you can now listen to the morning meeting and two-way tonight on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.